Welcome back to another episode of the Spotlight with KB. I am your host, Kenia Berrueco, and this is another episode where we are talking to James Mena. James, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Well, we want to know about you. I know you because of Salinas Foods. I've seen you on Instagram.
Yeah.
You are a resident of the Salinas Valley. So I want to know who James Mena is. And I know a lot of people know you, but they don't really they know of you, but they don't really know you. So that's why I'm excited because you're on here and we're going to talk. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I'm a resident of Salinas, a Salinas native, some of us would like to say. No, just kidding.
But of Salinas.
But I was born at Memorial Hospital, 1995, July 5th.
What time?
Like at 4 something. Yeah, you get suspended. No, like at 4 something, like at 4:10.
Oh, really?
In the morning.
You're not lying.
No, like at 4:10. Yeah,
oh,
something like
cool.
that. Something like that.
Okay, cool.
And my siblings. I have two sisters, one brother, and I ruined 4th of July for them because it was July 5th. That's what they always say. But
I love that.
Yeah, so I grew up with 2 sisters, one brother. My mom, my dad wasn't really in the picture too much, but he came later, we saw him later in life and stuff like that. And I got love for my pops. He's there, everything like that. I didn't grow up with him though. I grew up without a dad, and my mom had different boyfriends and stuff like that. But my mom eventually got married in 2013 to my stepdad, and they were together for a while. So I kind of grew up with my stepdad. So he showed me a lot of different stuff and stuff like that. But I also grew up with 2 cousins and my grandma and my aunt. But that was it though. In Salinas, we don't have too much family, other than my dad's side, because the Mena name is pretty big in Soledad too, actually.
Wow.
And that's where they're at. A lot of them are. But
Are they your family?
We're all related.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't grow up with them, so I don't really know them too much.
I get you. That's a lot of us. Yeah.
Yeah. So it kind of sucks, but at the same time it's all good, everything happens for a reason.
Exactly.
But yeah, because who knows what I would have got into if I did know them. So it's what I mean?
I get you. You just don't know, and now you're here, and you're someone. A lot of people may argue that you're an influencer. Other people say content creator.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's both. Going into the topic of influence, this is what this episode is about. And I feel you don't have to have a certain number on IG or on social media to be considered an influencer. Everybody is.
Yeah.
That person that's hearing this episode, they're an influencer in their sphere,
That's true,
in their circle. So that's where I want to know your influence has actually really touched everybody. Soledad. I'm from Soledad. People from Soledad know the Salinas food. They know you because of them. Probably Salinas knows you. But I'm talking about South Monterey County.
Yeah.
We're over here looking at you guys and we're what? Who are these people?
Yeah.
And so it's great that I ran into you and I was dude, let's collab.
Yeah,
so I appreciate that you're here. Yeah. But yeah, can you tell us your journey into comedy? Because that's what you are now. You're a comedian. You've done stand-up comedy. You do comedy skits.
Yeah.
And I am always laughing at them because it's just crazy. And even off record, guys, we've been laughing the whole time. It's really hard to stay serious. So, but yeah, how did you get started with comedy?
Well, well, people always told me, hey, get it. You should do stand-up. Dude, you'd be great. They always said I was funny and stuff like that. I never really saw it, but it's all good. I guess that's one thing about someone that's funny. They don't really think they're funny, but everybody thinks they are. But I gotta give a lot of credit to my friend Julian Gonzalez, El Gordo Mamon. A lot of people probably know him as. And one day, it was August 2023, and that was the first time I did actually perform stand-up comedy right here in Salinas, California, at the XL Public House. And he was doing a show. It was a Spanish show, but it was mixed, Spanish and English. But he that night I went to just go support him. I was gonna go support him, watch the show, see how it was. So because I was kind of getting my feet wet still. I had some jokes written down. So if I ever did need to perform or whatever, I could do it or try those jokes at least. And he asked me, he was like, hey, you want to do 5 minutes, 3 minutes?
But on the spot?
Yeah, on the
Like
spot.
you didn't know you were gonna go
No,
through
I
that?
didn't. I didn't know he was gonna do that. I didn't know he was gonna ask me that, and he was just like, "Hey, you want to do some time or what?" And I was just like, let's do it. Like, let's run it.
Wow.
Like, and
What joke did
yeah,
you throw out there?
I went up there and I did. I had this joke written down because like I think I'm Native American. I think I am. So
Well, I think all of us are.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Those
That's good.
Mexicanos,
Yeah,
Native
yeah.
American, well,
That's good. I like that. See, that's but I've never done like a 23andMe. But like I always I pretend I like
yeah.
when I'm up there I'm just like yeah. So
Yeah.
I just recently did 23andMe.
Yeah.
You know I found out that I'm 5% Native American. Ever since I found out that I'm 5% Native American, I've been acting different. Like I've been going to the grocery stores. Like I'll be like, "Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you?"
Oh my
Like a Native
goodness. How do you
Native
feel?
American.
How do you feel about those people that like
They might take offense to it.
yes.
I know it sounds bad. It sounds bad.
But that's how you comedians are known for.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you guys, it's just
Well, I feel
laughter.
like it's okay if you are that. You know what I mean? Like you could joke about it if you are like 5%,
So you are, though.
1%. I don't actually technically I don't know. But one time I overheard my aunt and she said that she was. So I must be like a quarter or something, right?
A little venita, a little
Yeah,
vein in there.
something. So
I feel you. Honestly, though, like deep down, I think Mexican Americans, you are Mexican American, right? Like Mexican origin.
yeah. Like
So,
Hispanic.
Hispanic,
It's
yeah.
all the
Well,
same.
yeah, we're Native American, the indigenous from there, from Mexico. Like
Yeah.
we have that blood in us.
Yeah.
So of course, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I mean, I did say that, and then I went on to say some other stuff.
Did
Like,
people laugh at that, or they're like,
yeah,
what
they
the-
loved it. They loved it. Like,
Really?
it's always that's actually
Because
a
my
good
circle, there's
good
some
hit.
of us.
It's a
There's
good-
some of the people that would be like, "Oh my god, like that is so offensive."
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Saying
I
it,
love that.
saying it to you right here one on one, I realized like, dang,
Like,
it
wait,
sounds
why
kind
did
of
I
bad.
say that?
But like,
It's not like I'm Native American. It's like,
what do you mean by that?
yeah, what do you mean? But I know people, especially in life, when you take things a little more like lightly and just not that serious, life
Yeah.
just is much more better. Like it's much better because
sure.
a lot of people, especially now, we got this generation where we're super soft
Yeah.
and sensitive and like we get triggered or we
Everything,
say,
yeah.
and it's like, I get it, but I feel like at the same time, it's making us very weak, weak-minded, and we shouldn't be like that. We should see things as they are, and of course, as long as we're not hurting others, or anything like that. But it's definitely something to think about, that we need to be a little more uplifting and just have fun, and that's what I like about your content.
Yeah.
That is just literally, it's relatable, and we have fun watching you. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool that that's how you came up in the comedy scene,
Yeah.
just being asked.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
out
It was
there.
pretty.
That's pretty
I'll never
cool.
forget. I'll never forget. And that's the thing about a comedy show though. Like you got to kind of just leave your things at the door type of thing, because you got to go in there like you don't never know what the comic's gonna be talking about. Like they could be going
Yeah.
like super out of pocket, but like you can't take it offensive because they're not trying to be offensive. They're just something that they've seen in their life experience and just in general, like the world, like. So like they just joke about it.
That's
like,
true.
They try to bring light to certain things. Like
Yes.
it's not to be like making fun of it. There's like a fine line like between like making fun of something like horribly, like I don't know how to say
Like really with malice, like
yeah,
just
like
because
actually
you're
like
just
hate,
mean.
like with hate,
Yeah.
but instead of just like trying to just
when
joke.
it's just
Yeah.
like, hey, like embrace it.
yeah, exactly.
I love that.
It's kind of tough. It's kind of tough.
Yeah,
but
I like that take though, that perspective of just embracing that part of life and people and situations, like just laugh about yourself or things that you have been through.
yeah,
And I know off record we were talking and you had mentioned something about like stories that you've been through or situations, and you have said you and your friends would say like that's a video
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
And I love that.
yeah. That's
I
how.
love that. Yeah, like you'll be like, oh, that's a video.
That's how we come up with like a lot of our videos. Like we're just
Yeah.
talking, we're just shooting
Authenticity.
the shit, so to speak, and yeah, we just come up with different ideas.
I love that. And what inspired you to do it in our local community?
Well, dang, I've always felt like I was supposed to be like something on camera, right? Something on a TV show. I even tried to do like Disney Channel audition one time when I was like a little kid, but like they just wanted like money and stuff like that. It was like a little weird, but
Yeah. That's so cool. You've always
so-
been an extrovert. Like,
yeah, I've always felt like there
entertainer.
was something more to what like this, like the life I was living, right? And ever since I was like a young kid, like I wanted to do something, and then I found like YouTube, and I found like videos online, and I just picked up a camera and I started like doing skits. Like like when I was like in 8th grade, I picked up a camera for my first time, and I when I was like a sophomore, I met my best friend Smaj Melson, which is funny because like my name's James and his name's James backwards, so it's
Oh wow,
Semaj.
that is so cool.
And like ever since then we became best friends, and we started doing skits together, and he kind of pushed me a lot to do skits too, because like I was like kind of like behind the camera type of thing. I just wanted to be the cameraman, and but like I eventually like realized, oh, okay, I'm supposed to be like on camera too type of thing, like. And yeah, we started doing skits like as in high school, and like people in high school would like say some of our lines type of thing, like whatever funny stuff we said, stuff like that. We would hear it at school. People would like yell it across like the hall or like something like that, and I'm just like, what the heck, like that's crazy, like you
Yeah.
watched it, like type of thing. And
Yes.
so like it's always been there, and but like growing up here and everything like that, just kind of like I don't know, it just kind of like the craziest part about it, we've been doing it for so long, and like it's like barely starting to
It's always like that though,
track,
right?
yeah, like,
Yeah.
and
It's setting. People know you.
yeah,
It's like
yeah,
like an established. I'm telling you, you guys are influencers. That's
yeah.
an influencer.
It just shows like you can't give up, like like there's that
Exactly.
meme, that the digging meme, right? Or like it's not even a meme, it's like a picture, it's a digging picture, like the guy's digging for gold or like for diamonds. On
Mhm.
one of them, he's like so close to do it, like he's like one more hit and he would have hit the diamonds, but he walked away, and then
I love
the
that.
guy is like on top, or yeah, like the
I
one,
know
you know
which
what I'm
one.
talking about,
Yes,
yeah.
I know which one you're talking about, and that's for those that are listening. Like, yeah, like you
It's
have
so
two
true.
people. One of
Yeah,
them just gives up.
yeah.
They're digging, and then they're
They've
so
been doing it for
close.
so long. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
and they're
like
so close to that diamond, and the other one, like, he just doesn't give up, and he gets that
yeah,
diamond.
yeah,
So, and it's definitely true. I think consistency is
yeah,
part of anything. It could be whether you're in the comedy scene, in that influencer scene, content creation scene, whatever it is that you do, even in like blue collar jobs,
yeah.
just stay consistent. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep preparing yourself.
That hard work's gonna pay off. Like,
Exactly, and it will come. It
and
will come.
I guess you could say like I'm a living like testimony of that. Like seriously, like so
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
just whoever's watching, like yeah, you could do it. Like you could be that person getting the diamonds. You just gotta just keep going. Like
Why do
even
you
if
think?
it's not,
I'm sorry.
even no, you're good, you're good.
I see it. Why do you think people give up? Like a lot of people I see that they start podcasts or they start certain things. Like why do you think people just decide like that's not it?
Like it might not be getting the like so that it might not be getting the traction they think it's gonna get in the beginning. Like so like you might post something and it might get like a couple views or a couple likes, and not even any comments. But it's just like you got to remember what you're doing it for, like the bigger picture. So like people could give up because they might get discouraged, So it's like,
Right.
and then they might get like a lot of hate type of thing, People might just be like, oh, like
What do you tell those
use
people?
this, use that. You gotta just look past that stuff, like, and just remember why you're doing it and what you want to do it for,
I
like.
love that.
So
Yeah.
like yeah, so it could be hard. It really is hard. It's not easy to do this, and like there's like a lot of hate too. Like you'll get more hate than love at first, and even after too, low key, like you might get some hate, but you gotta just keep going. Like you can't look at the hate.
Definitely. There's people for everything. There's people that
Yeah,
hate, there's people that love. Just remember your close circle. That's why you have a circle, choose
yeah,
wisely. Have those people that support you and also tell you the truth too. Because
yeah,
for those that are listening, I know that I'm going to apologize for those first two episodes I put out there because I would like interrupt my guests. I'm not used to hosting. So I would interrupt or I would be like, whatever, be overly active listener.
yeah,
And I learned that not to do that. And I appreciate the feedback that I got from the close people that would
yeah,
listen because they will tell you the truth.
yep,
They want to see you improve. They want to see you succeed. They want, to see you, be better. And a lot of people get offended by that and they just give up. Like, oh, I'm
yeah,
not even good at this, or I messed up a few times or whatever. I don't want to do this anymore. And it's
yeah,
like, no. It's if you got to remember your why. Like you said, I love what you said.
yeah.
Remember that why. Can you share some of the challenges and rewards of being a comedian in Salinas?
Challenges, I guess you could say, not offending people. Like you gotta like I said, there's a fine line between making like when
Not
you
offending people.
yeah
That's a
like
challenge.
yeah because like you never know who's gonna get offended, but like Yeah, what was the question? My bad. So
Yeah, like
some
challenge.
challenges.
Yeah, definitely. And a reward, a challenge you said is not offending people, and that definitely is challenging
Yeah,
because but you know what? I feel even you could be the best ever. You
yeah,
could you could be, look at it, analyze it, run with it, run through it with people, and they'll be like, "Yeah, it's approve, approve, approve." And there's still going to be that one person that's just going to get offended or is not going to like it. And that goes to say with life. It's not just comedy. We're going with life. Like you're doing something, you say something, or there's miscommunication, and then people get offended. And it's like, no, 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 let it go. You don't know the other person's life. You don't know what's going on in the other,
yeah.
situation or whatever. Or you don't know that the intention was pure. It was good. It was not bad at all. And a reward though, like for that. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I guess you say some challenges too could be like writing a joke, right? You might not know where to start or something like that.
Right.
For some people and everything like that. But like once you write a joke and stuff like that, and then you say the joke and it actually makes everybody laugh, like that's the reward right there.
I love
like,
that.
Like that's the reward. Like
you feel good. You're like,
your joke hitting basically.
Yes,
Like,
and that's hard work too, because you think about it.
And not only that, the videos too. Like once if you do a relatable video, like and it hits, like you're just like, that's rewarding. Like dang, heck yeah, like people relate to it.
They relate.
There's like a lot of tips and stuff too on social media to help you with certain stuff. Like,
I love that. Yeah, and there's resources out there. I think the thing is just do it. Just be consistent.
Yeah.
And love what you're doing most of all. I see that you love what you do, and that's why I feel that's why you are here. You were showing me off record like videos that you've done in the past, and I was like, wow, like he's been doing this for such a long time.
Yeah.
Like no wonder you're.
I should have showed you. Maybe I'll show you later. Like the first ones we ever did. Like I looked so different. Like we were literally kids. Like that's pretty cool.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And you see, you stuck to it. Why? Because you love it.
Yeah.
And that's the key here. Whatever you're doing, whatever field of work you do or passions you have, you love it.
Yeah,
you have to love it.
That's the one thing I like to remix songs and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like it ain't about the money, or what is it? What's that song?
I get you.
So I remixed it to it's not. It's all about the funny. It's not about the money. Yeah,
I love that. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah. I haven't I just made it up in my head one time. Like, I was just having a conversation.
And that's creativity. And so that goes on to my next question. Like, how are you so creative? Like, is it just something are you observant? Like, is it that you observe and you're just like, that's interesting?
Oh yeah, that's one thing. But I feel like growing up too, like around my stepdad and stuff like that, and we grew up real poor. Like we were super poor, and I didn't even know we were poor. Like we grew up with holes in the roof. Like we didn't really have plumbing in the house, type of thing. Like we used a water hose.
Wow.
And
so you had to be creative.
We didn't have electricity sometimes, and like in these situations, we still my family was able to find the light in different stuff.
I love that.
Like we would use flashlights and do like puppets on the wall, with the flashlight, like shadow puppets, and like we would joke, we'd be all together, and like just laughing like throughout the night and just fall asleep to that. And like I think it just taught me to always see the funny and always see the light in every situation you're in, and be okay with where you're at. It could be the worst situations, but like, is there still something funny in that situation? There's still something good.
There's good. Yeah. Yes, find it. And I love that because this is on theme with this season and the podcast overall, the spotlight, because we're literally putting light in people's stories, the good of the valley, and we were talking off record as well, and we mentioned how a lot of people, they don't like Salinas, they don't like where they live, they don't like South Monterey County, King City, Soledad. So what do you say to those people?
I just say that whenever someone says like stuff like that, I'm just like, dude, it's better than you think, man. It's what you make it too. Me and my friend, I think it was Woo, my friend at Woo. We did the podcast together. And like we were just talking, like, bro, it's like we would post something and then someone would comment like, oh, Salinas is whack, Salinas is this, like you can't do nothing in Salinas is boring. Wow. And it's just like, dude, it's what you make it, you know what I mean? So like no matter where you go, it could be boring, it could be this, it could be that, but it's what you make it yourself,
And this is why I'm bringing you on, and a lot of people from those backgrounds, and they are residents of the valley, because they're fun. They're amazing. They're great. And if people don't know what's in the Salinas Valley, well, hey, let me check out the podcast. Look at these people. Look what they're doing around our communities. And that leads to my next question. Like I feel that that's giving back to the community in a way, because you're highlighting Salinas. A lot of people are like paying attention and like, wait, like, who are these guys? Who are these foos from
right.
Salinas? So it's pretty cool that we have that to represent us, and us as people that live here, and we may see you around. We have to support you guys. We have to support others, because we are in a sense, we're all a community. We're all residents, and that's what this podcast is about, to connect each other to each other, and have that like be like, oh, I know James, like, or I know Tony Beretta, or I know, you get me, have that connection, have that community. And I just appreciate that you're here and you did that with Salinas Foods.
Yeah, that's the thing about social media too. Like they always post it like, oh, it doesn't take much to like, it doesn't take much to comment. Like you don't have to pay for any of that,
Don't.
So it's like, might as well just do it.
That's support.
Yeah.
So that's good that you brought that up. So in a way, you don't have to financially donate or anything.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is just like, or share the video or the podcast or the whatever it is that people are putting out there. If it's good, if the quality's good, of course we're not always gonna be supporting.
Yeah, unless it's like something like kind of like negative. No, said negative. It's like, because I mean, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do none of that stuff.
You don't?
No.
What?
So it's like kind of like if someone's like promoting that or like rapping about it, so to speak. Like,
yeah, I get you.
Like I might be hesitant to do that because like I don't want people to think that's okay, like, so to speak. At least people that follow me or whatever. Like
I get
anybody else could do that. Like it's all good if you guys do that at the end of the day. I don't I'm not trying to judge anything like that. But it's just not something I really like condone, so to speak.
Right, like, because you don't do it. So why would you? I get you. So if something that's relatable, something that you like, that's what you would support.
Yeah, exactly.
And why don't you drink or any of that? A lot of us, we do here. I don't, but I know a lot of people that do.
I've done it. I've done it all.
Yeah.
Like, I've drunk. I've drank. I've smoked. And like, I decided to. I recently started going to church. It's always been in my life.
I love that.
Church has always been in my life. Mm-hmm. But like, I recently really dedicated myself to God.
Go?
The Rock of Salinas.
Nice.
Yeah, it's right next to the MST, in between Coca Rose and the MST bus station.
Okay.
We have service at 4:30 if anybody wants to come.
I'm gonna pull up.
4:30
p.m. I'm
gonna
go to church and then I'll pull up later over there.
Yeah, you can sleep in and come at 4:30. It's all good.
Wow, I love that.
And it's like it's a smaller church, but like you could really feel the
presence,
spirit, the power of God. Yeah,
the presence of God.
And and I got baptized May 26, 2024. Like,
wow.
So that was really recent.
Congratulations,
it was really recent.
Yeah.
And I just sacrificed a lot of stuff, like alcohol. I sacrificed, marijuana. I sacrificed all that stuff. Like, no, like, it might sound weird.
No, but I feel you. I know what you're. Yeah.
For God, basically, I would sacrifice anything. We give our life to God.
Yes.
That's a sacrifice.
In a way, if you think about it, sorry to interrupt you a little bit, but you had mentioned like a sacrifice and all that. In a way, and it is for God. The reason why God tells us like, okay, don't do this, don't do that, because we have to be sober-minded. There's a scripture out there in the Bible. I don't know it by memory, but you Google it, you'll find it.
Yeah.
And it talks about being sober-minded, and the reason being is just life is much more precious, much more beautiful when you deal with it.
Yep.
And I've had conversations with other guests where we talk about pain or traumas or hard things that we've been through, and it's so easy to come up and get a drug, so easy to drink, so easy to numb the pain.
Yep.
And we see it as cool. We see it as like, oh, tough. We put it up here. But we don't really understand like, hey, it's numbing you.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's much more cooler, or I would say badass, or like awesome if you actually deal with the pain sober.
Yeah.
Like, try doing that. That is like crazy. Like if you actually like, that's I respect people that do that deal with the pain sober-minded.
Yeah. And that was the big reason why I decided to stop too, is because I did go through certain stuff, you know what I mean, and I just smoked, I just drank to get over it, but it always came back, because obviously it's all temporary, right? So it's just like, why am I gonna continue? Like, I just noticed like it was just never gonna end, it's always gonna come back, and I'm always gonna go do that stuff. And it's just like, dude, like there has to be
A way out.
there has to be something more than this. There has to be
And
something more
how
than
did
just
you
going
find the
out. So
church?
that
Or like, what was your?
my best friend Ruben,
Mm.
his mom and dad go to that church, and they invited me one day, and then I never like I stayed like I stayed because
I
like
loved
it was so
it.
nice. Everyone's so loving. Like they don't like I don't feel judged there. I feel like I could just be one with God. Like I feel like I could
You
just
feel
it's just one on
love.
one. Yeah, like it's
Love. A
it's a family
family.
more than anything.
Yes. And that's what it's all about. That's what church is for those people that think it's just a religion. No, it's a relationship with God. And when
Yeah,
you go to church, it's to be with other people that believe in what you believe in.
exactly.
And then when you feel down, there's people that give you a word of encouragement and are there for you. You know,
Yeah,
I know my
exactly.
darkest times, I had people from church that were there for me.
Yep.
And why are they there for me? Because they believe in God. They know that God has shown us to be like that, to
Yeah.
love others. So that is pretty cool. I did not know that. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. That is so cool. Congrats that you got baptized.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
I
that's
recommend
cool.
it for everybody.
Recommend, yeah.
Sorry.
Joel, my husband, he's gonna get baptized this year too. So that's pretty cool.
It's hard though. It's hard. It's not easy.
It's
like
not.
because the
It has
world
to
like
be a personal choice.
yeah, exactly. Like I never want to push anybody to do anything they don't want to do, and religion is like a big thing because like once you get a taste of the world, like we've all got a taste. I'm sure like it's but like there's a lot
Yes.
of kids too out there that haven't got a taste of the world, so we got to kind of like show them that they're not missing out on nothing.
They're not missing out.
Like
Definitely.
I've gone to church like events and everybody's like jumping and dancing and it's like a
Yes.
party like at a club, so to
Yes.
speak, and it's like the same thing. I'm just like, dang, like
Yes.
it's literally like the same. Like there's just no alcohol, there's just no
You could have
drugs,
fun,
there's
yeah.
just nothing like that. Like and it's the same, like if not
It's the
better, like it's like because they don't
Exactly.
care, like they don't care. They're
They
not
don't
thinking about
care.
like someone looking at them. They're not thinking about like
And when
being
you're
judged. Like
yes.
you're just
Yeah.
literally worshiping God. Like
I
it sounds
love
that.
that.
Sounds weird. Like it sounds weird, but like
Yeah.
worship. What I mean by
But
worship
you know,
is like
a lot
singing
of-
and dancing and praising. Basically, it's
Yes.
not just like oh yeah. Like,
Yeah,
it's not just
it's
like
not.
worshiping.
No,
like-
how do
like-
you worship God? Yeah, like you could be, singing,
Yeah,
dancing,
yeah.
what you just mentioned.
Yeah.
I love that. That's great. What advice would you give others that pursue, it could be comedy, it could be whatever their goals are, or even those that, want to know who God is, Like how would you tell them to get there?
I would say just go to church. Go to church and let God like just listen. Just listen. Like don't like for church. Don't like if I invite you to church. Like you should just come. Just come and
Yeah,
and
just
that's
check it out.
that's it. Like
Yeah.
because as long if we can get people to church, then and then God takes control from there. Type
Yes,
of thing. Like
definitely.
if you come to church, like I might not even talk to you after that. Like, like you're here. Like,
Yeah.
I did my job. Like,
Yeah,
like now just
you
let
and
God talk
God.
to you. Like,
Yes.
because it's not up to me. Everyone's like, so that it's like a big thing. Like you can't worry about other people's salvation, right?
I love that.
You gotta focus on your own salvation and like just you and
Yes.
that's your relationship with God.
Yes.
It's you. So like whatever you do, like that's between you and him.
Yeah.
Type of thing. If you want to share, like it does say to like talk about your sins with other people and stuff like that, your brothers.
Right.
But like if at the end of the day, like if you have stuff that's unspoken, like that's that's totally fine,
Right.
But like if I could just get everybody to come to church, like I feel like I did my job. Like
Yes.
and from there I could let God do do
Yes.
his thing and everything.
I feel like then everything just goes into order.
Yeah.
Everything, your work, your goals. Because when you're spiritually, being fed, you start clearing up your mind, you start feeling better, and then you see things differently. And your goals, I mean, obviously with God, todo es posible. Everything's
Yeah,
possible.
exactly. Yeah.
So wow, I did not know that. I'm like mind blown.
I feel
And
like
I-
that's a big reason why a lot of stuff for me has been like kind of happening because like I used to have my content used to be pretty like inappropriate, so to speak, like super. I didn't like at some point I didn't really like kind of care who was watching or what. But then I kind of got conscious of like, dang, some people are watching, like kids are watching me. Like I can't just talk about like dirty stuff. I can't inappropriate stuff. So like I kind of just put a hold on that. Not even a hold. I just put a stop to it, and I kind of started recreating like what I did because that's what people like kind of knew me as. They're kind of just like some of my friends were like kind of like, oh, like your stuff's inappropriate, bro. Like it's not even like what I do. Like so they kind of were just like, oh well, that's you. like they kind of like separated me, and I was kind of just like, what? Like, is it that bad? Like, that's crazy. And then I kind of realized that it kind of was bad. So like, I don't know if people noticed, but like I changed like a lot. Like I changed like a lot how I post or what I post about. Like I'm really conscious about what I post now. Like I don't just like post like anything. Like
I noticed that. Yeah.
so like even my questions when I do interviews, like it's a lot different. Like I'm not trying out there to I'm not trying to like expose people like that. Like I'm not trying to like make people feel inappropriate. Even though that's what like the social media like what like
that's what
catch
gets a lot of
traction in.
views too.
Like the Hawk 2 girl, like
yes.
like that's like that blew up. Like
I'm not. I feel so bad. I was just looking at one of her videos yesterday, and I'm like, and I was reading the comments. I'm like that type of person that goes on the comments, and a lot of people were like, "Wow, this is America so shallow. Like our country's so shallow.
Yeah.
We'll make anything like famous, anything."
Yeah.
And then I just remember, I'm like, there's people there, we don't see it, but there's people that actually care about podcasts like these, about conversations that are meaningful and deep.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm here for, and that's what you're here for too. Your comedy, your what you're doing for the community as well. Like that's how do I explain it? I'm losing my train of thought. That is help me out, brother.
That how much like
my goodness. That's the point, you know? And it doesn't matter if we can get one person to like it, if we can get one person to be like, wow, this changed my life. I've had messages with only the first video. There's only, at this point, there's one video up. And I had a person reach out and was like, I did not know this about cops. You know, I interviewed a cop and he's like, I saw them bad, blah, blah, blah. And that's like bringing unity into our communities, because there was this division with cops and like, we don't want to talk to them. We're like, the pigs or whatever they call them nowadays. And I wanted to change that perspective and be like, no, these people are here to protect you. These people are here to take care of you. And we need to wake up, because a lot of the laws that are being passed right now, it's because we're not doing our due diligence, and we're not really voting. We're not really understanding like, hey, our rights are being, infringed on. So we have to kind of wake up the people, and that's what this podcast is about. And but yeah, can you tell us, and enough about me, I'm sorry, I'm over here like bringing it back to me, the spotlight back to you. Like, can you tell us about a memorable moment or experience where your comedy has made a positive impact in your community?
Like my stand-up, or just in general? Like
in general, what you do, Instagram, whatever it is that you're doing right now.
Well, I feel like in the kids, I feel like a lot of like I feel like when they see that, there's hope. Like everything like that I've been doing all these years, kind of just like they're starting to see it, so to speak, and like they realize like, dang, this guy. I hope they realize it. I hope they see like this guy's from Salinas, just like me. Like this guy was in these areas. Like, cause I grew up all around Salinas. I grew up in the east side. I grew up in the north side, the west side. I grew up like all around. So it's like I kind of got to experience like a lot of different stuff, and like and it goes to show you like. I never got involved with like gangs or anything like that. Like it was always around, but I never really like did it, you know.
Right,
and like, and it just like you don't have to, like it's all a choice, right? It's all a choice. So like, so I just hope that they're seeing like you don't have to go that route. You could be like the comedy guy. You could be the YouTube guy. You could be the
podcaster,
the podcast guy. Whatever it is, you could be the biker, right? Because there's like a lot of kids that ride bikes now. Like you could do like. Whatever it is you want to do, like you could literally do it. You don't have to just go the same route as your older brother, same route as your cousin, same route as your dad. You know, like you got to recreate. Like the wheel's already been created, right? But you got to kind of recreate it and just do whatever you want. You could be the gamer. Like there's so many gamers nowadays. Like you could do that.
There's so much new
drawers,
things happening.
Artists. Like my nephew, he's such a good like artist. Like he tags and stuff like that. But like he's so good at it, like it's crazy. Like I'm just like, dang, dude. Like if we just like and there's so many different things like Artist Inc. like that to help the kids like to showcase their talent. So
and I love that. Like people like you. That's what I'm saying. Like influence. You know, maybe like I said in the beginning, people can argue it can be a content creator. No, it's an influencer.
Yeah.
Someone who's out there and people are seeing you. You're influencing them, whether you believe it or not. You're doing it. That's the truth.
Yeah.
So
the interviews, like I feel like I'm like the only person that really does like street interviews here in the town. Like I'm sure there's maybe a couple other people, but like I feel like if I didn't do it, like I feel like nobody else would do it. Like I haven't done it in a couple of weeks, and I haven't like I kind of just been like, dang, I kind of itching to do it. I'm just like, dang. Like, dang, I feel like I gotta go interview some people just because you know people like to see that.
Yes.
And I was thinking about moving away too, like a couple months ago. So
Why?
like, I just thought I just thought the content would be better, like interviewing people. Like,
I get you.
Go to a bigger city, it could be a little better.
Go to
better-
Soledad. Go to
better
Kansas City.
answers and stuff like that.
Go to La Raza
yeah,
over
shit,
here.
yeah. Actually, yeah, maybe we
Yeah.
I know we were talking about it, but we didn't do it. But yeah, that'd be cool to do that.
Yeah, definitely.
And but yeah, you know, like I mean, like I think that people are you know like it's having an impact, so to speak, because a lot of people are reaching out. So I feel like it is having an impact. I hope it is. You know,
I'm here to
it is
confirm
for
it
a good
is.
thing, for a good. Like I don't want to. I'm not trying to bring any negativity to anything. You know, like it has to be good. Like if it's not good, like it's not right. You know, I shouldn't.
Exactly. And I'm going to emphasize what you said a little in the middle of the conversation. You were like, I feel like things haven't been happening because, you know, of God.
Yeah.
Because God.
Exactly.
And I feel the same way. Like the fact that it's no coincidence, guys, like whoever's like hearing, it's not a coincidence that my husband and I were like driving to Target and I saw you out there doing your thing.
Yeah, true that.
And I was like, turn around.
Yeah.
I want to meet him. Like, I want to invite him to the podcast. I want to know him, you know?
Yeah.
Because I see him everywhere and I want to know who this guy is.
Yeah, you're right, though. It's not a coincidence.
Yeah, it's not. And I feel like that I really do believe in God. And I believe this is the podcast dedicated to the people. But there's an episode where we're talking about, you know, spiritual warfare and how that is. And that's the theme of the season, you know, that we gotta shed light on good things because when we're shedding light, the darkness just disappears.
Yep.
I know Salinas Valley has been known for the pandillas that had started here in Salinas because of the prison and all that. But
what's that? My bad.
gangs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like the gangs.
That's how this place.
So
is really,
cartels, you know, we have one of the strongest cartels from here. So it's like, you know, a lot, and people have commented like, oh, like you can't hug a thug, you can't love them or whatever. But it's like, no, people have hope. You know, there's generations that are listening to this podcast, and I'm telling those little guys, those little people, the kids, like, hey, there's other ways, and let me show you. There's James Mena, there's Tony Verretta, there's, you know, Melissa Morales for the girls, for the women. There's a lot of people that are leaders, and I consider you a leader. I consider you an influencer in our community, and people know you. And now you don't have a choice. Like, you know, that's who you are now, and that's how people view you. So I'm here to confirm to you, like, what you're doing is necessary and it's good, and it's very encouraging to hear that. But that's James Mena, guys. Like, this is him. And but bonus question, Salinas Foods, I don't know if I asked you on record. Salinas Foods, who's that? Is that you?
No. It's a group of people. And they like, I've always been making content, like I said, and they reached out, you know, they're like, hey, you know, you want to do a video? Like, so they like my content, they like how I do stuff, so to speak, and they just wanted to work together. So like they brought me on, so to speak, and
Secret Society.
Yeah, Secret Society.
How was the initiation?
Everyone has to get spanked with a paddle. If you guys want to join, you got to get spanked. I think they're branding people now. I don't know. Nah, just
at the rodeo, huh?
So yeah, it's just they don't like to like show their face, right? Secret Society.
Yeah.
But like,
I love that.
But I just think that because like they post a lot of like memes and about like certain stuff, and just in general, like I feel like maybe they have jobs where like they don't want to lose their jobs, type of thing, you know. So like just gotta stay low key. And for me, I've always put my face out there. I always do this. Like, I've actually lost my job to a video before, but it's all good. It's fine. I don't even want to talk about
another story. Leave it.
It was a bad situation.
That was the old James.
It was like rightfully so they fired me, but
new creation,
it's all good. Yeah.
New creation, new life.
But so I know how it is, you know. I know how it is to like, because I've taken videos down because someone reached out like, hey, I'm about to lose my job. Like, can you take it down? Like,
wow.
And it's just like, it's understandable.
Yeah.
I just it's kind of confusing to me for the jobs to do that, but
right.
It makes it, you know, it's
it's
all good. Like,
I get you. People have to be real and authentic, and if you're, well, I don't know, everybody, cada quien, como dicen, cada quien. But what role do you think that the humor plays in bringing our community together? Like, because I feel honestly,
I'd say a big role. Like,
yeah, I feel like it does. Yeah.
Yeah, I
For
mean,
sure.
other than like, yeah, I feel like it plays a big role, but also like, I mean, shoot, getting back to God, like
Yeah,
that's like that's the ultimate
definitely.
role right there. Like,
And
because
people forget, like, he's not all serious, you
I
know?
know, right?
Like, when
Yeah,
you
like
get to know God, like, there's humor
yeah,
in
seriously,
life.
yeah.
Yeah,
There
so I
really
love
is.
that.
Like he's
He's,
like people. I always wondered, was God funny? Like, yeah, he was hilarious. Like he's one of
yeah.
the best.
Jesus, when he was on earth, like, man, he was funny.
Yeah, because he'd speak like in parables and like stuff like that,
Yeah,
and
and
like he
like the
would.
comebacks, like, dude, you're mean.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but
And like I mean, shoot, I'm not trying to be all like crazy.
yeah,
Like people are gonna be like, "Damn, this guy's crazy," but like I
mm,
pray for Salinas all the time, and
me too.
like
Yeah.
and like the surrounding cities too. Like just in general, like I feel like Salinas is on its way to being something really
Yes.
really great. And
Yes.
if we just keep praying for it, if we keep
Declaring life.
yeah, exactly.
Declare life.
Like if we could, like, because the power of our tongue is
It's
it's
definitely
so powerful. It's real. It's
the
real.
words are powerful.
We're
You're
prophesying.
prophesying.
Yeah, so like it will eventually come true. Like,
Yes. And I'm glad you touched that because our church where we're going in Rogie Road, that's what we do. We pray over Salinas, we pray over the whole valley, and we declare life because there's so many people just declaring the opposite,
Yeah.
and taking lives and
Yeah.
just emphasizing the bad things. But hey, there's more good. Believe it or not, that's a small percentage. There's more
Yeah.
good happening in the valley.
Yeah, and doing this probably gonna bring some negativity, like, because a lot of people don't
Bring it.
know, like, yeah, right.
Bring it.
It don't even matter because like we got the power of God is strong.
The power of
like,
God is strong.
So like
Yeah.
there's like a lot of people don't know if there's like a lot of like negatives of like witches here.
Oh yeah, brujeria. Let's touch that real quick.
Nah, we don't have to. Like,
I'm kidding.
because they're watching this and they're be like, I bet you want to
No,
play.
but
No, we're not
but-
trying to play.
No, we're not trying to
like,
play. But the blood of Jesus is very powerful. That's one thing.
Yeah.
And actually, the episode with Pastor Frank, but we talked a little bit about that.
Pastor Frank. Oh,
Yeah, Pastor Frank. Yeah, he's from Rogie Road. Do you know him?
No, I mean I know a Pastor
No.
Frank, but I don't know if it's the same one. Is he older? No, probably not.
Nah, we'll talk about it later. bro.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. It's like rock paper scissors like type of thing. Like
I feel you. Okay, you know what? Let's wrap it up, guys, because I think that's the episode for today. For sure, we're gonna collab later on down the road.
Yeah.
And talk about other things. But guys, this is James Mena. For those that didn't know him, he's at James two S's, right?
Yeah.
Mena on Instagram. I'll tag him down below. But make sure you follow on the Spotlight with for updates and on our conversations or when the episodes are being uploaded. Feel free to send DM to that page. That's like an open forum. So if you guys have questions or want to get connected to another person or want to get on, if you're from the valley, especially, you have priority because you're a resident and this is what it's for. This is for the people to get together and make a community. And if you like what you heard, please subscribe on YouTube and follow on Spotify. Review me. I know if it's 1 star, it's okay. I'll still love you. Just give me feedback. Like, tell me why is it 1 star? You know what I'm saying? I think there's 5 stars right now. I don't know who did that, but thank you so much. I appreciate you. Shout out to you, whoever did that. But yeah, do not forget to rate this podcast. That way we are able to reach more people, and you know how it goes. So this is for the community. And that's it, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, James.
No, thank you.